Hello everyone, my name is Masha, and today I'm going to be speed knotting the Ravenclaw house bracelet. Now before we get into the video, I do want to mention that I am currently running a competition. In this competition you can win any of the house bracelets. I've done a video like this on each of the other house bracelets as well, and you can find them linked in the description. The competition will be running until the end of January, so you have a bit of time left if you're watching this close to release. And if you want to hear about all of the rules and everything, then stick around until the end of the video. Hello, and welcome back to the Harry Potter bracelet collection. Or welcome if this is your first video. I did a video like this on all of the other houses as well. I started with Hufflepuff and then did Slytherin and Gryffindor, and I'm now closing off with Ravenclaw, which is actually my house, which is quite exciting for me. If you want to watch the other videos as well, they'll be linked in the description. And as I did mention, there is a competition running for this, which I will be sort of mentioning here and there. But as I did say, the Ravenclaw is my house, which I was very excited to make this bracelet. That's why I left it for last. I don't know, I've never actually made this one before. I did make the Hufflepuff bracelet for a friend about, I'd say, like a year or two ago, and I've never made the other ones, so it was kind of exciting. I've always wanted to try them. They've always sort of been on my to-do list, but I never did. So I'm excited to actually get around to making my one. And the string here that I am using, as you know, with alphas, the best sort of way to make alphas is to use the same string, preferably from the same brand, just to make sure that they are exactly identical in terms of thickness. But you can go with different brands if you can see that they are the same thickness. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, I went exclusively with Comtex for this one, which is a brand that I purchased while I was in Russia. There's nothing special about it. There's absolutely nothing special about it. It's just yarn that's sort of twisted on itself, and it happens to be cotton. And the only reason I'm using it is because it's what I bought. I don't know, like, you guys always when you're asking me about like what kind of strings you use, you always expect, or at least I think you expect, to hear some kind of well thought out reason as to why I use a specific brand because it's like better than the other ones or something. It's just what I bought in the store. It's just what happened to be there type of thing. It's not. Sometimes I use string that's like really cute, like the sparkly strings that I use, the Irridescense strings, but even that I only use them because they're available to me, I guess. So yeah, there's no particular reason why I'm using Comtex here. It's just what I had available to me. You can use whatever kind of string you want. So, you know, take anything I say in this kind of sense with like a grain of salt. Like, don't expect my recommendations or things to be like 100% sort of what you should follow. Anyway, I did use Comtex here, and I did notice that the bracelet is sort of, it's not perfect, like with any of the bracelets that I ever make, but especially with alpha bracelets, they're never perfect. And if you do win this bracelet or any of the other bracelets, please don't expect them to be perfect, because they definitely aren't. All of them are wonky in their own way, some more than others. Some have tiny mistakes in them where like colors are peeping through, maybe like one knot you can see. In like a blue knot here, for example, you can see some of the black peeping through or things like that. With this one specifically, the R at the beginning, the blue R of the Ravenclaw, is much thicker than the rest of the bracelet, and also in the bracelet itself it sort of fluctuates, going a little bit thinner, a little bit thicker within the bracelet itself, which I don't know why that happens. I guess, I mean, I'm still learning. I've never been super good at alphas, so I'm still sort of practicing and trying to get a feel for them and figure out what works for me, because while there are techniques that work for everyone, you still have to practice, I guess, and figure out how you feel is more comfortable to position your hands when you're not, how you like to pull on your strings or whatever. Like, you still have to figure out your own way of doing it, I guess, because with like, especially with what I do, I get bracelets from a lot of people that just send me bracelets. I, you know, do bracelet exchanges with some people that I talk to in the community and stuff like that. So I get to see, touch, and feel a lot of bracelets from a lot of different people. And even though everyone is following the same techniques and doing the same things, all of the bracelets are different. They are completely different in terms of, I don't know, structure, in terms of the feel, in terms of the knot thickness. Some bracelets are very, very stiff and don't bend at all. Some bracelets are very, very bendy. Some bracelets are super soft and sort of stretchy. So it's definitely very, very personal. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm still learning, and while, you know, you can see that I can make alphas and I can make them well, I'm still learning and I'm still trying to figure out my own thing with them. So yeah, don't expect them to be perfect, because they are not. And also at the beginning, I have my own theories and stuff, but I still can't quite figure out why the beginning of the bracelet where the R is, it's a little bit thicker than the rest of it, because it is the same string. Like, it shouldn't be much thicker than the rest of the bracelet. It's the same brand of string, it's the same thickness. It should be the same. But I guess because it's the beginning of the bracelet, I was sort of maybe going a little bit easier on it, because I was trying to make sure that the strings won't sort of separate, or I don't know. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure that out, but it is. And in the other bracelets as well, I think they are a little bit thicker as well. So, you know, that's that. But yeah, in terms of me being a Ravenclaw, I always thought that I was a Gryffindor growing up. And I guess just because, you know, the main characters are Gryffindors, you want to, well, I mean, at least I wanted to sort of be a part of what they were a part of, so I guess I could, I don't know, feel more connected to them or something. So I always thought I was a Gryffindor. And then a friend of mine said, hey, you know what, I think you're a Ravenclaw. And I was like, what? You know, and I sat down to think about it, and I realized that I probably am. And that's also around the time when, what do you call it? Pottermore came out. That's around the time when Pottermore came out. And so I did the test, and for the life of me, I can't remember what my Patronus was, or my wand. I do not remember what the test said. I might have to do that again. But the house that I got sorted in wasn't indeed Ravenclaw, and the more that I thought about it, the more it made sense to me. Because, you know, Gryffindor's whole thing is bravery and courage and whatnot. And while those are amazing characteristics to have and to value, it's not really me. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm like a coward or something. It's just not a characteristic that I pride myself on, I guess. I don't know how to express what I'm trying to say. But with Ravenclaw and the whole thing being like intellectual achievements, not achievements, but like just being smart and interested in topics and whatever, that is my thing. Even though I wasn't always great at school, I've always been very excited to learn and interested to learn new things, and yeah, I guess so that just made sense to me more than anything else. And all of the other houses as well, I don't think they quite fit for me, but I do feel that I am right in Ravenclaw, and it is a good fit for me. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that sorting, and I was very excited to make this bracelet, as I did mention. I don't remember what my Patronus was. I really should do that test again. I'm really curious to see what that comes up with me this time. But I'm so glad I did this Harry Potter collection. Just in general, I'm really, really happy with how everything turned out, because I've been looking at these patterns for a while, for years. I've seen these patterns around since like way when I started making bracelets, and that was like 10 years ago. Yeah, I just never got around to them for some reason. I don't know why, but I never did. And I'm glad that I did now, and I finally managed to do them and have them all finished and done. So I'm really excited to find out who wins them. So if you want to enter the competition, definitely stick around to the end of the video when I describe how you can do that. But also, if you don't win, I'm just, you know, glad you participated. Just have fun. That's the most important part in all of this, is just to have fun, because I wanted it to be just like a thing we did together. These little stars, or like these bubbles at the end of the bracelets, Gryffindor is the only one that didn't have them. The Gryffindor pattern in general was kind of messed up. It was a little bit wider by one string, which required me to recut all the strings because I didn't check. And it also didn't have the sort of stars at the bottom of it, which I was quite sad about. But yeah, these stars at the end, when you're done and you're doing these stars, it is so annoying. because you've already done the bracelet and you're tired because it takes a long time to do and you're really tired and you just want it to be done with, but you have to do the stars. But they are really pretty though, so don't get me wrong. So this is the bracelet, how it turned out. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's really, really beautiful. But as you can probably tell a little bit, it is kind of wonky. I think it's more visible in person, but it is. But I'm still very happy with it. I'm quite proud with what turned out, and I hope whoever wins it is happy with it too. I'm going to leave you now with the super fast time lapse just for your enjoyment purposes, and after that I will go ahead with the rules of the competition. Alright, so now let's talk about the competition. As I mentioned, I have made bracelets for all of the other Hogwarts houses as well, and the videos for that will be linked down in the description. The rules to enter the competition is the same for all of the bracelets. So because I didn't just want to run a giveaway, I wanted to make it a little bit fun for you guys. I want you to make a bracelet representing your Hogwarts house. And this can be absolutely any bracelet. You can even create your own patterns. You have full creative freedom. The only thing that is required is that it's understandable what house you're going for. It has to be understandable what you're going through, be it from the colors, the theme of the bracelet, or whatever. Mention it in the caption of the photo when you do post it. So once you do make a bracelet, take a picture of it, post it to Instagram, and use the hashtag #NotWithMasha. Also make sure to tag me in the photo so I can see it from my profile. If you don't have an Instagram or your account is private, you can also email me the pictures directly. My email can be found on my Instagram page and also here on my YouTube page if you click on the About tab of my channel. For some reason it's only viewable from desktop, but it's there. Whatever house you make the bracelet for will be the house that you are entering for. I do accept multiple submissions from people, so you can make multiple submissions for the same house, different submissions for different houses. The only thing that I would like to say is that each submission goes for each individual house. So even if you are, say, multi-house, so you're like a Slytherpuff or whatever, you can't submit to win both Slytherin and Hufflepuff at the same time. One submission is counted towards one bracelet. But you can make multiple submissions. This competition ends at the end of January, and I will be revealing the winners in a YouTube community post, in an Instagram post, and in an Instagram story as well. The most important thing is just make sure to have fun. I know that not everybody can win, so I'm mostly doing this for fun, so don't forget to have fun. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I post videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and I will see you next time. Bye!